What makes a real iGaming SEO agency and how to avoid the pretenders? Well, if you search on Google for iGaming SEO agency, you'll see hundreds of companies claiming they can rank casinos, sportsbooks, or betting affiliates. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of them have never worked in regulated gambling properly. Most of them don't understand compliance, and a lot of them would actually damage your brand or get you penalised if you did work with them. So in this video, I'm just going to break down what actually makes a real iGaming SEO agency, how you can differentiate them from generic SEO firms, and how to spot the warning signs before you waste a lot of time and money potentially. So the first thing you need to understand is this. iGaming SEO is not just SEO in a niche. It's a completely different discipline. A real iGaming SEO agency will understand gambling regulations by market. For instance, the UK Gaming Commission, the Maltese Gaming Commission, Curaçao and Duan license, or US licensed state by state operators and affiliates. What Google allows versus what operators allow, how affiliate disclosures, terms and conditions, RTP, and responsible gambling messaging, that will all affect rankings. And you have to understand how risk tolerance changes by jurisdiction. So if an agency says SEO is SEO, it's the same everywhere, then that's really your first red flag. You must understand that each country has completely different regulations which generally need to be respected, because in certain countries one article with a couple of wrong sentences can pick you up a 5, 6, sometimes even 7-figure fine I've seen for tweets and such, like social media posts or articles, or a bit of wrong wording on an email can pick up a serious fine these days. So the second thing that you really want to look for is proven experience, specifically inside iGaming. A real iGaming SEO agency doesn't just talk about experience. They'll be able to show you sites they've worked on, case studies, testimonials, reviews, social proofing, content frameworks that they've built specifically for gambling, keyword strategies that align to player intent, not just traffic. I mean, from my experience, the X factor is roughly 100. There's low value keywords and there's high value keywords in the iGaming industry, and they range by about 100x. So for instance, on Google Ads, in fact a little bit more than that, on Google Ads, the information seeking words like punters looking for live odds versus the very highest value keywords like new online casino, it ranges by as much as like 200 or 300x. So that's something you have to bear in mind. And if you hire an SEO agency that doesn't understand that, then they will consider all keywords of equal value, and you could waste a lot of money looking for those kind of 10-20 cent keywords instead of the £100, $100 type keywords. So you really want to find an agency that knows about informational content versus money pages, player acquisition versus retention, and bonus-driven traffic versus brand-driven traffic, which is a completely different value and a completely different ballpark. And if you speak to an agency and the case studies are plumbers, dentists, or IT software, then they're not an iGaming SEO agency at all. They're just a generalist trying to upsell you. The second point is, the third point, sorry, is compliance first SEO. This is where a lot of agencies fail badly. Back to my point about compliance and fines, it's a real pattern in the last 2 decades is this new online gambling business sprung out of nowhere, as did the internet. There were no laws around, and slowly in recent years, country by country, they've been tightening up with taxes and such like. So you need an SEO agency that understands that, because if they start publishing content on your site without that awareness, they could very easily put your business at risk of going out of business through big fines. So as a generalist rule, you need to avoid misleading bonus claims, no fake best casino reviews, no unsafe outbound links, and no black hat networks. Years ago, grey hat and black hat SEO was very profitable. You would see very quick reactions from it, but Google introduced AI. I think in 2018, that machine learning algorithm gets cleverer and cleverer, and it becomes harder and harder and riskier black hat SEO. So it might seem like your black hat SEO techniques are working, but next time that all big core algorithm update, which tend to come around every kind of 3 or 4 months, that'll catch you out. And I quite often see sites spike up and the black hat, grey hat stuff's working well, and then the next algorithm catches it out and it flatlines down to zero, and all that money that you've spent is gone. And it's very difficult to recover a domain once it's been slapped by Google. So you really need to work with agencies that know how to rank without triggering any Google manual actions. Myself, I've never had a manual Google action in 22 years of iGaming SEO, and I've worked on probably 100 different sites. So you need everything to be white hat and future proof. Future proof is the key, because if it's not future proof, it's like building real estate on quicksand, and it will eventually catch up with you and waste your money. So the other big red flags are agencies over promising. So if an agency says guaranteed rankings, page one in 30 days, private blog network, secret, ultra cheap automated links, all of that stuff is a complete waste of money. Years ago it used to work. You know, the strategy of linking to the more domains the better, as long as it had a DR of above like 20, 30, used to work really well, but that's all become redundant as Google just gets cleverer and cleverer. So if any agency is offering that, you just run for the hills and just ignore them. The fourth point is that their link building, understanding of link building knowledge. It really matters more than any other vertical link building. But how you build them is everything, really. I mean, a real iGaming agency will use contextual placements, authority gaming sites, media PR and brand mentions, and country-specific link strategies. That's all I use. I very, very rarely buy links. The other thing, another useful thing that I see 99% of casino affiliate platforms are inspected is optimizing your affiliate platform for SEO. Sometimes I see clients with like 20,000 affiliates, and they could spend a day in their affiliate system and get 20 times more SEO value out of it, just by optimizing like the keywords associated with all of the landing pages in their system. And the things to avoid are really PBNs, Fiverr link spam. As I say, 10, 15 years ago, that sort of link building used to work, but now it's become completely redundant. I mean, I was working on a site just earlier this month, and it got an SEO attack, like out of nowhere, like 2,000 adult sites suddenly linked to it within the space of a couple of days. Years ago, that would have been a problem, but now you don't have to do anything, you just ignore it. Google's just wised up. Avoid things like site-wide footer links as well. They're pretty spammy. And toxic expired domains. Again, years ago they used to work, now they don't. So any agency you're looking to work with, ask them where do your links actually come from. And if they can't explain it clearly, then 9 times out of 10 they just don't know what they're doing. Another fifth point that's really important is strategy, not tactics. So the fake pretender agencies, they sell X links per month, X articles per month, but really what you want to be hearing about is strategy and outcomes. So you want to hear about market analysis, competitor analysis, keyword intent mapping, content silos, internal link strategies and structures, and risk management. And you know, if an agency jumps straight to pricing without understanding your license, your markets, your business model, then they're really not strategic, they're just transactional and best avoided. So just to recap, a real iGaming agency specialises in gambling. They understand compliance. They have real iGaming proof in terms of real human beings, reviews, testimonials, case studies, safe authority, and they're thinking about long term, not quick wins. Things tend to happen in years now in gaming, whereas 10, 20 years ago they might happen in weeks or months. When I first got into SEO, you could buy a keyword targeted domain, go and buy $100 worth of links for it off Fiverr, and you'd have your money back before the end of the month. But those short-term tactics just don't work anymore. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've recently written a book about iGaming SEO based on my 20 years experience. I put a link to that in the description below. And also, if you want a second opinion on an SEO proposal you've been sent, you want an audit of your current SEO agency, or perhaps you're looking for a new SEO agency, again, all of my contact details are in the description. Thanks very much for your time.